From digital brushstrokes to blockchain scenes, artists unite where creativity leans. Upload your vision, let the pixels collate in a world where your art can truly appreciate. Find your inspiration at Pixel Palette and NFTs. NFTs in the making, artist collaboration. From your mind's eye to digital installation. Craft your legacy through unique creation. Sync up, link up in this artist collective, where every piece sold is crypto protected. Your art's not just viewed, it's a sensation, turning pixels to gold in the new art nation. Find your inspiration, where art's not just fiction, at Pixel Palette Nation, where creativity's conviction.
From digital brushstrokes to blockchain scenes, artists unite where creativity leans. Upload your vision, let the pixels collate in a world where your art can truly appreciate. Find your inspiration at Pixel Palette Nation. NFTs in the making, artist collaboration. From your mind's eye to a digital installation. Craft your legacy through unique creation. Link up in this artist collective, where every piece sold is crypto protected. Your art's not just viewed, it's a sensation, turning pixels to gold in the new art nation. Find your inspiration, where art's not just fiction, at Pixel Palette Nation, where creativity's conviction.
With one of the OGs, one of the guys that has been here and is honestly super cool. Really excited to kind of get into the deeper realm with him, and that is obviously the one and only Mad Dolph. So all of him and his dolphiny goodness. What is up? Trying to accept him up here because X is annoying with everything, I guess. What is up, Mad? How are you? Oh, wait. Did it remove from... What's up, Long?
GM, what is going on?
Chilling like a villain. Trying to get Dolph up here, but things are not going easily because X has been messing up the speaker invites lately. You can accept them or send them, but they will not process.
Sounds about correct. Here, let me see if I can get them. There we go. I got you an invite, Dolph. Hopefully you receive that and you'll be able to come up. And I see we got King of Light, my friend. How you doing? Thanks for popping in here. Also got 48. Greg, can you get 48 a co-host? Because I definitely cannot do that.
Yeah, no, I shit that. Oh, Dolph is up here. Sweet.
GM, everybody. How are you doing?
Woo! All things are right. Oh, great, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Super excited to be here.
It's mutual. You've been around PPN for so long, which in and itself we appreciate. to an extent, you'll never know, truly. But, to actually finally be able to sit down, relax, and dive into your entire artistic history, I've got a lot of questions, especially revolving around dolphins. I come from the 90s where dolphins were everywhere for some reason. So I have questions. I don't know if that was the same for you, but I still remember glass dolphins being everywhere, and I still don't know why. Maybe it was a Free Willy thing, but they were there. 48. What's up?
Hi, sorry, I was retreating the space. Hi, Madolph.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. I think it's the first time we talk in a space. Is that correct, or am I having some?
Yes, it's definitely the first time.
Well, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, what do I call you?
Well, that's a question. It's a never-ending question. You can call me Flamine. That's my real name. Or 48. That's fine too.
I'm good with 48. Thank you.
Okay, that's good. That's my alias.
Dolph, don't feel bad. It took me months to get the name down, but I think I got it now. It took months of knowing you, Flamine.
Well, but now it's good. Well, actually, you got it and Gray as well. Good, pretty quickly. So, and it's nice with the American accent. I like it. It changes.
That's something we've heard very few times. Usually, whenever people hear their a foreign name in an American accent, I have always been told, "Wow, kind of hate it right now." So this is growth.
No. I like it. That's okay. Kids in France cannot pronounce my name. When I was a student, I was babysitting, and the kids were looking at me and saying, "That's not a name." So they ended up calling me a number of names, not mine. So that's fine. I think American accent is good.
Oh goodness, it's fine. I have a pretty simple name in my opinion, and nobody knows how to say it. And so I have gone by a nickname my entire life because people don't know how to say ferret with a J. I don't understand how that's hard.
Well, I'm probably butchering your name and Justin as well, long shot. So, that's okay.
Justin's fine.
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's kind of hard to butcher. I think it's super hard to butcher my name, truly.
Let's see. But no, that's I don't know. I worked at this clinic for 2 years, and all the patients thought my name was Jerry until the last day I was there. And one of the nurses finally cracked the code, and she, because it was just like a hidden secret. We were just like, let them believe it's Jerry. It's too much work to get through a lot of these people what my name is. And they were like, what? Why didn't you correct us for 2 years? And I was like, I tried for a couple months and it just failed. So I just became Jerry. And I was told that was like the talk of the clinic for like a solid 2 months after I was gone. They were like, I can't believe Jerry wasn't Jerry. And like, that was my a little fun. I don't know. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, I can't believe I'm 48, so I'm joking.
I can't believe it's not butter. But sorry, I had to.
So what you're telling me is we need to change your Discord name to Jerry. That's what I'm getting out of this conversation. And welcome everybody. By the way, I can't see how many people are in the room. My X thing is glitching out, but I'm seeing some numbers in there. But thank you guys for joining. Please hit that little purple pill like, retweet before we really get this conversation going. But Jared, please go on.
Thanks, bro. Well, either way, Dolph, what's up? How have you been in the space lately? There's been a lot of stuff going around. You seen anything interesting?
Yeah, there's a lot happening in the space right now. A lot, like there are different competitions I've witnessed. I don't really feel like I have the strength right now to apply for most of the open calls I see. I've already bagged some already, so I just want to cool off a bit.
No, that's fair. We've been talking to some other artists, and they were like, it's cool to see all these open calls, but it's almost overwhelming at the same time because you want to admit you want to see all of them. You want to put your art out everywhere, but then it's like, there's a lot of time and effort to go into making an entirely new piece of art for every single one. So picking and choosing your battles I feel like it just is an important skill in this space with that kind of stuff than pretty much knowing what your art is. Um, have you, are there ones that you have been putting in little, on like open calls or anything like that?
Yes, definitely. I got one. There's an event coming up in Portugal, NFC Lisbon. So yeah, my artwork also got selected for that open call. Unfortunately, I won't be able to attend the exhibition. So with NFT NYC that happened earlier too, I wasn't able to attend. So maybe one of these days I'll be able to attend all this exhibition.
Hey, I mean, either way, congratulations. That's some international accolades right there. So, I get it. That's one thing I feel like I keep on hearing people is like, oh, my art got accepted for blah, but I can't travel halfway around the world, to go see it. Which always sucks, but I don't know. It's still like I feel like you should still feel extremely accomplished for that. So congratulations. We're definitely excited to see, what all is happening and your art that's now internationally famous. Little good accolade right there.
Thank you so much, Jerry. I'm also looking forward to having Clara on this space. She taught me a lot in the NFT space. I'm desperately waiting for her to join us here.
We're sitting her down. She got to bed pretty late last night, so we're gonna be well. She'll pop in a little bit, I bet, but that the life of
We
a
ready?
mother.
We ready to get this thing kicked off for real this
Yeah,
time?
send it.
All right. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you guys for joining today. This is Pixel Palette Nation with another artist appreciation space. We got a PPN OG in the house with us today, Mad Dolph. If you guys haven't seen him around, introduction here. He's a incredible artist, has been around the space for quite a while, tends to help out others where he can and support where he can. So we're very excited to be talking to him today. We have Gray March behind the Pixel Palette Nation account to my left and 4448 or Flamine behind the 448 account to my right. And yeah, we're about to dig into this. So Mad Dolph, the way we really like to start this is just kind of give you a space to do a little introduction, what got you started on your artistic journey and then eventually led you here to Web3 and NFTs.
Oh, thank you very much for the introduction. Lush. I really appreciate that. My Web3 journey is really an interesting one and very long. I'll try to make it as brief as I can. So, how my name is Gerald. I'm a 21-year-old. I started my NFT journey right in late 2021. So when I wanted to start, I went through a lot of thinking process because I wanted a project that's different from what other people are doing than just basically selling art. I wanted a project with a real life goal, and yeah, that's where I came up with a mad of NFT idea. The idea came to me through my sister when we're thinking about idea of what to use on our PFP as the NFT. So yeah, we decided to use a dolphin as the central focus of the NFT project. And that's just how the idea came about. So I went in to do some research on NFTs, how it works, how I can make my voice to be heard out there in the space. That's how I basically started. And yeah, that's how the journey started for me.
Interesting. Could you dig a little bit into why you decided to go with the dolphin? Like, was there personal, specific reasons behind that?
Yeah, I feel like where most people see themselves as a wolf, maybe their animal spirit as a wolf pack. I see mine as a dolphin, just calm, easy, and yeah, self-reliant, just believing in yourself and being contented with what you have. That's how I feel about the dolphin species because I did a little research on them and yeah, I noticed something interesting about them. Do you know the dolphin species are like they do recognize themselves when they look at the mirror? That's really an interesting fact for me. So that's what caused me to use the dolphin as my NFT, and also to reflect on how intelligent they are, because I feel people don't know, are not quite aware of how intelligent these animals are. So we just see them and see them as a normal animal. No, that's quite different. They are really, really intelligent. Like they can tell themselves when they see their reflection in the mirror and many other interesting facts about dolphins. So yeah, that's basically why I chose dolphin as my PFP. Yeah, fun fact I will share with you guys. I shared this with Clara earlier this year or last year. I haven't actually seen an actual dolphin. Would you believe that?
Well, I can tell you this. I've definitely seen a dolphin, and they can get kind of rough depending on what kind of mood that dolphin is in. But yeah, no, you're completely right. Extremely intelligent animals. The way they interact with other animals and with themselves, with their own species in the water, being able to communicate back and forth is honestly incredible. Some have rivaled it to human intelligence almost. In an animal form. There's actually been extensive experiments done to try and teach dolphins to speak English, done by the U.S. government. Fun factoid, if you're into, it's not even a conspiracy. That's a real thing that happened. But I love those. I love those little interesting facts right there. So, what about your personal artistic career? What really got that journey started?
Whoa. This thank you so much for the question. This will really take me back to 2019 when I was still in high school. So during the COVID break, I just had my smartphone. I don't have anything I was doing with my smartphone. So my brother introduced me to this app I can use to create digital art because normally I was good with the pen and paper art. So I started my journey in the digital art during the lockdown, during the COVID lockdown. It was really a roller coaster ride for me because I learned how my artistic journey from just basically watching YouTube videos, saying, "Oh, okay, if I make something like this, I should use this brush and brush all over it." So yeah, that's how I basically started my artistic journey. And yeah, improving is always something I look forward to. I always want to improve on my art. I always look for
Dolph, I couldn't agree with that. And that's an interesting way to come in, right? And I feel like a lot of people can really share that sentiment. I know I go to YouTube University on a very a very regular basis when, for a lot of different aspects of my life, everything from artistic to working on a part of my car. And yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. The depth of knowledge that is available right at our fingertips on, the World Wide Web today is absolutely insane. I mean, they're putting college seminars online for video for people to stream for a small time monthly fee, or sometimes you can even find that educational content for free completely on YouTube. So makes a lot of sense to me, and definitely a good learning tool to utilize. So the 2019 COVID lockdown, I feel like a lot of people resonate with that. That was truly the time that we came into cryptocurrency, being at home all the time and kind of can't really go anywhere. So what do? You hop on the internet, right? So yeah. So I'm interested though. What was the app that your brother introduced you to? Was it Mid Journey? Was it a Wombo? Something along those lines.
No, it was. I think it was Adobe Illustrator Draw. It was not an AI app to create it. It was for basically creating digital art. I think it was Adobe. Yeah. And back then, trust me, my work were really, really something else. Not as good as they are now. I wish I could share with you photos of those work, but you need to make a tweet about that before sharing it. So I will look for a photo and share with you maybe later.
That's like the coolest tweet in the world to me though, right? Those old snapshots where you can go back and look at the progress that you've made in the past few years of trying to perfect and hone this craft. And that wraps me back into what you just last said, trying to network and improve and use the people around you to try and gain more knowledge on what you're trying to do. I truly believe that your net worth is your network, right? That statement and saying is around for a reason. It's not about what you know; it's about who you know, which is true to a certain degree. Also, the artwork you put out, definitely will play some sort of role. But yeah, the networking in this space. I mean, with the use of social media, we have access to such a large network that we've never had before, and just by making good and interesting, even funny content, memes can really push you into a whole different new aspect of life or a new contact that you might not have made previously. So I truly do love that. So Dolph, let me ask, when you're creating some new artwork or you're creating a new collection and you've decided on a drop and you're going to launch this thing, is there anything that you go into doing to try to bring more exposure to it? Do you go into spaces and talk about it? Do you make particular posts at particular times of day? Like anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. I do that a lot. So if I plan to drop a collection, I'll probably take 2 weeks to look at that the work more, maybe to like criticize my work if it's up to standard, if it's up to the standard of other artwork I see out there. Yeah, making a post. Before I make a post, after making my evaluation on if it's on standard, I'll schedule a time for a post. Maybe the time it will get the greatest engagement or the highest engagement it can get. And I'll also reach out to other communities, other people, maybe give them just a brief summary of the project that is coming up. And yeah, that's basically it. I'll just tell them a brief summary of the drop I'm about to give and give some hype on Twitter. I do hype on Twitter a lot. Yeah, so that's what I do.
The community outreach can be huge, right? If you can bring yourself up on a few spaces or something like that to gain more exposure, I mean that's massive. So I absolutely love that. And then scheduling the post on Twitter can also be big. We've done a lot of internal research, I'll say, just from running PPN and looking at our personal analytics over the past years. And it seems to be that about 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody is about awake around the world. And that's one of our higher engagement times to post. So dropping a little bit of our alpha there, but but yeah, dude, I couldn't agree more with that. And the hype on Twitter, it's hard, right? Like fighting the algorithm on a daily basis can be tough, and you're pretty much having to work with Elon on a daily just so you can, when you do want to put that thing out, you can still garnish some sort of interaction. But I also know that you're in a bunch of DM groups in the back end. You're in the PPN group, you're in a few other with me, and I'm sure there's more. Do you utilize those as well? You share your posts in there, or do you try to make conversation, anything like that?
Yeah, I utilize that. Basically, there is a lot when it comes to those groups. There, I use them for different purposes. I have minted work on objects. I have an OpenSea. So sometimes I won't want to post my Tezos art on the OpenSea group or my OpenSea art on the Tezos group. So yeah, I just make my post there, and yeah, I engage with the artists I meet there a lot because I meet different artists a lot, maybe different artists that mint on the same chain as I do. I engage with them in DMs, ask them on how they should give me a honest review on my project. and ask them how they're making sales, because if you're out there, you definitely see people make more sales, and yeah, you'll be eager to have more sale as they do. So I do make those DMs. Yeah.
No, I love that. Engaging with the community, right? And specifically engaging with the community of the blockchain that you're about to be dropping on. I think this is extremely important, because if you build a base on Tezos and then you go to drop on Solana and then you get very sad when it doesn't sell out, even though you built your base knowingly on Tezos, I mean, it's kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. But if you branch out and you build your original base on Tezos and then you want to move and go somewhere else, go find those communities. There's communities out there for every blockchain. I guarantee you, it's just going to be a little tough to find, because it's not like you can just type in the search bar, Solana art community. Like, look at PPN, for example. People type in art community. I'm sure Pixel Palette Nation doesn't come out, but if they type in Pixel Palette Nation, we come up first of all. But what are the odds of them just thinking of that name off the top of their head? But Mad Dolph, dude, this has been incredible. It's been a while since we've talked, honestly. And it was cool to reconnect and get more of a deeper story about what you do, because we've been talking quite a bit. I would say for like the past year. So it's really, really cool to finally be able to bring you up here and talk to you about this stuff. I'm going to pass it on over to Gray, because I know he's got some riveting questions to ask you as well.
Oh yeah, so riveting, so rivetous. Revitalizing. So sorry, I'm having a mini stroke here. But so Dolph, I like to kind of look at pretty much the space as a whole. Like you said, that networking aspect, exploring things, different tools and different communities is extremely important. And coming in to the space, I just kind of want to get your opinion on the technology behind it. Like whenever you first stepped foot in here, whenever you started seeing blockchain and all these Web3 implements, pretty much, and you immediately thought art, what made you want to start utilizing this for art? Is this something that you think will truly kind of change the direction in the art space, and how do you feel about it?
Yeah, definitely. Getting into the blockchain was quite a hustle for me, because I had to understand how the blockchain works before I get into it. So after making my research and understanding the blockchain, I started, and yeah, I believe the blockchain has a huge role to play on the art industry. That I met a guy, I think last week. He's an artist too, but he's not an NFT artist. And oh, this guy creates very good art, very cool. His arts are really like amazing. And I was like telling him about NFTs and stuff. And he pretty seems not interested in it, but I keep advising him like it's a good way to reach out to people beyond the physical, beyond your reach, like maybe people outside, people in different places, not just focusing on one area. So I probably hope he buys the idea of minting an NFT. So yeah, I believe in the blockchain. I believe it has a huge role to play on the art industry. It takes us far and wide. It takes us to different places we can't even imagine of. So yeah, I believe the blockchain is good for art.
Oh, I love that. And I love it takes you different places. I mean, truthfully, the internet, you can find everybody on the internet, which is cool. It's fun. I've met, I play video games regularly with a person that lives in France, another guy who lives in England, another guy who lives in Italy, another guy who lives in Portugal, and another one that lives in Brazil. Very regularly, and I would have never been able to do that without the internet and video games. But then you come into Web3, and it's even crazier. It's not just chance that you are meeting people outside of your nation. It's 100% guaranteed, and I love it. It's that exposure to different cultures that I feel like a lot of people don't credit enough whenever it comes to their personal growth as an artist, is that you are quite literally in an area of history where now you are able to be exposed to such different cultures on a regular basis, with no, there is no real true expectation of exchange. There's just expectation of to experience. Um, I love that. I hope the guy follows it. Really do. Whenever so whenever you're talking about blockchain technology and everything like that, obviously all these different chains pop up. It's hard to decide as an artist. Is there one that you particularly like to mint on? Is there one that you're like, wow, this is, I enjoy the UI or I enjoy the community? How is that for you as an artist? Wait, Dolph, you're kind of coming off as it's like a buzz in your mic.
Oh, can you hear me now?
No, it's still there. It's sort of like an electric buzz. I hope it's not just me, to be honest.
No, it was the same for me.
Okay, as long as it was shared.
You hear me?
Perfect. Fixed.
So,
right,
sorry,
can
you repeat your question again?
Oh, it's no, it's all good, dude. But no, it's so whenever it comes to experiencing different blockchains and things like that, there's a lot to choose from. And, a lot of people have trouble deciding which blockchain to use. But a lot of people make those decisions based on pretty much, oh, I like this community. I really like these artists or X, Y, and Z. Is there a specific blockchain that you've really liked engaging with, not only for maybe its technology, but for the community that's associated with it?
All right, I understand now. Yeah, definitely. There's one I like the most, and that's Tezos. I basically like everything about it. Tezos was the first marketplace I knew that could have two artists maybe work on a collab and mint it as an NFT, and that was really impressive. Yeah, Tezos is the very best I like. And speaking of Tezos, I want to tell you how my Tezos journey started. So I think it was last year when I met with Clara. I was like desperately wanted to have a mint on Tezos because I've watched the community. It was going on well. So I chatted with Clara, telling her how much I would love to mint on Tezos. And yeah, she suggested a collab with me. I think it was the title was 1920 Swing, and it was sold out in 2 weeks. I was like, wow, I was really impressed. And yeah, the collab gave me enough tests for me to continue with the community, continue minting my artwork, and that's how my journey started in Tezos. And maybe that's why it's my favorite. But yeah, that's enough evidence for me to give it as my favorite.
Well, I mean, as a person that works right next to Claire quite often, I can definitely say Claire is definitely a proper representative for the spirit of Tezos and the artists that are on there. She's always looking for collabs. She's always looking to, reach out and help people and especially experience new artists, which, I mean, that's Tezos right there, to be honest. It's an extremely tight-knit community whenever it comes to just being like, oh, hey, let's try this, let's try that. It's very artistically freeing, to be honest. So obviously you have your whole thing, you have dolphins, and I've got to know, if there was something, in the future that you're planning on with this dolphin approach, or is there another collection that you kind of have in mind?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Your question is if I have another collection of the dolphins coming up.
Oh yeah, collections of dolphins or something else. Are you working on something else that isn't dolphin related, or is there are you planning on really trying to keep it mainly dolphin related?
To be honest with you, I actually have something I'm working on. Haven't really made enough of it. It's actually a collab with a marketplace, a new marketplace that is coming into the Web3. Eric Ward. I met with them on LinkedIn, and yeah, we started connecting from there. So about my dolphins, I'm actually thinking of maybe I'll send my roadmap to the Jumbotron. After my roadmap, I am definitely looking forward to creating another collection of dolphins. I don't want to stop here. I really want the Mad Dove to go viral. I want everybody to know such NFT exists in the space where we can come together as a community and save donate to charity for dolphins, because that's one of the main goal of this collection.
Man, oh, I mean, we're here to help, spread the dolphin goodness. And I'm really glad that it has some charitable aspects to it. That's extremely heartwarming, to be honest. So, yeah, I got one more question. I'm gonna pass it on over to Flamine. And that is, especially whenever it comes to art, exploration of different mediums, tools, things like that, it's huge. You got to get out of your comfort zone quite a lot to, to truly find yourself as an artist. And so, with your artistic journey, is there ever been a medium that you've been pretty much sitting there like, I would love to try that, like sculpting or photography or glass work? Is there any other ones that you've really wanted to look forward to and try?
Yeah, to be honest with you, I have, I think, 2 years experience in photography. I really loved it. I really love the Adobe for part of it, the editing of photos, adding lights, making retouches. Yeah, I have some brief understanding on that, and I would really love to go deep into it. Photography and probably videography. Yeah.
If you were to go into those two things, would you like to create something specifically? Like, would you want to go out and like actually capture dolphins with photos and like edit cool videos, or do you have any other ideas of how you'd like to explore that medium?
Yeah, definitely. Capturing dolphins will be part of it. But what I basically like on photography is a photo shot from a plane view, maybe from up, maybe with using a drone, getting the plane view of an area. Maybe I like photos of such view of the ocean where you can see the ocean from a plane view. Maybe the photo is captured with the drone, so I really love those kind of photos, and I would really love to create something like that. And thinking about it, I would love to see a picture of a plane view in the ocean with dolphins like that. That would be really interesting to see.
I recently got to see that here in Japan. There's this guy that uses a drone and video to go over the waters and capture the whales, the dolphins, and the fish and everything like that. There's actually this one capture that truly got me is he got to capture, I think it was a few years ago, I finally just saw it, the migration of manta rays on a southern island off the coast of Japan. Truly, if you look at, if you, I think that you guys, everyone here should Google it. It's a very beautiful event. But he used that, you did a drone and got to be able to capture such a beautiful moment, because I feel like that kind of absence of maybe the human aspect got him closer to it all. Uh, but no, that is absolutely wonderful. And I really do. I really hope that you pursue that, because any artist, I feel like, always gains something extra whenever pursuing any sort of artistic pursuit outside of their comfort zone. Trying different mediums, trying different processes, everything like that only is something that can help you. I got to say, thank you very much for your time, Matt Dolph. I'm going to pass it over to the one and only Flamine, 48 over here, and very excited for her questions.
Hello again. So it was super interesting to follow the conversation and to learn more about your artistic journey and processes, and also the fact that you're interested in different mediums, and to open it to different genre and to continue to grow into your artistic journey. And you mentioned earlier the collaboration with Claire, and I was wondering, how do you approach collaborations, and is it a huge part of your creations, or just from time to time? So how does it work?
Oh, thank you for this question, 48. The collaboration. When I first got into space, I remember I saw a post someone posted. I've forgotten about it. He was like, we need to speak more on collaboration on the space. And after I saw that post, I followed it up. I was asking maybe different artists for a collab, so I can have my name out there, but it wasn't successful. I think the first collab, I think the arts on Tezos with Clara was the first collab I had. And from there, I've to be honest with you, I've had a lot of collab. Like I made a list this year. Each month I'll be having a collab with different artists. I already had one with last month with Celestial Boy. I'm working on one with Tatiana. So yeah, I love collab. I love collaborating with artists. It puts you on a different scale. It expands your imagination. It makes you break barriers. So yeah, that's my take on collab. Collab is really something that is very interesting in the artistic space, because it brings the followers, the collectors of an artist together with a collectors of another artist, and yeah, it boosts recognition in the art space. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to having a lot of collab this year.
Sorry, we lost you. Just at the end, your voices went down. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
No.
Can you hear me?
No, it's like you're very far away from the mic.
Okay, how about now?
Oh, it's good. You're very close now. And I'm so sorry it happened, because your voice was so enthusiastic. And yeah, please go on. It's really interesting.
Oh, I don't know where my voice stopped. So where's the last part you heard? What was the last part you heard?
That you were boosting collectors and by bringing along different ecosystem in a way.
Okay, yeah, about collaborating with different artists on different platform, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so I did mention I have a collab with Celestial Boy. I'm working on a collab with Tatiana. I don't really know the next artist I'll be having a collab with next month. So if you're an artist listening to us, you can hit me on the DMs. We can definitely work on a collab. Like collab is really interesting. I love having collabs with people. It expands your initiative, expands your barrier, makes you think in a very creative process. There is a fun fact I just experienced with the collab I'm working on right now. The collab will be minted probably next week. You know, my dolphin art is always as if it's looking towards the right. So this collab piece features a dolphin actually giving the viewers a front view. So this was like my first time of capturing a dolphin's front view. It was really interesting part in my artistic journey, and I can't wait to share that with you.
We're really looking forward for it, that's for sure. And it's really, I think, something that is surfacing through this interview is that you're very interested in expanding perspectives through different cultures, means, and these collaborations. And when you have this work with other artists, how do you proceed? Do you talk to them and do you build together? Do you co-create, or do you start with their piece, or they do start with yours? How do you do?
Oh, thank you for this question. Most times when I'm working on a piece of art, I reflect on it, and I'll maybe remember when I was maybe on Twitter and saw someone's art, maybe someone's art style, and I'll be like, okay, this art will go well with maybe 47's art style, maybe with Longshot art style, maybe with Jerry. So that's how I did. Basically, the collab I had with Celestial Boy, I was just creating something with my phone, and I was like, this art will definitely go well with Celestial Boy Touch. So we worked on the collab, and yeah, it was really successful. We made 5 pieces and one is already sold out. And yeah, speaking of collab, I also love collaborating with community. I was thinking about maybe sending a message to Longshot, maybe by weekend. So I like collaborating with artists too. I have a collab with Savage Nation. I saw the collab you guys had, the New York City collection. And after minting my work on the New York City collection, I spoke with Savage, and he gave me the opportunity to use his Savage token as the utility for my Red Dolphin. So I'm creating a Red Dolphin for my Mad Dove collection, and each collectors will be assigned a specific amount of the Savage token. So I'm so open to PPN, to Pixel Palette Nation, if we can have a collab, because my rare piece of the Mad Dove NFT will be 10 rare pieces. So 5 already will be given Savage tokens. So I'm still left with 5. If there is any idea anybody in the PPN have on how we can collaborate with my rare NFT, I'm always open. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sure that there is many people who will be interested, and especially with all the. I mean, you're so enthusiastic when you talk about collaborations. I'm sure people will get, embark with you with that. And actually, you were mentioning the New York Nights collaborative from curated by Pixel Palette Nation and Savage Nation. And when I look at your piece, it kind of make me think of something else that I saw in your piece that's entitled "Let Me Be." And it's a use of symbols when you start to create a new piece, or, if it's intuitive and it just happens this way when you create this piece. But there is a lot of symbols in the New York one, and Let Me Be. If you could go through these 2 pieces, that would be great.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Do you ask the question?
So I'm just looking at the New York Night piece that you created. It's called "The City That Never Sleeps," and you have a number of symbols in it, including the Lady Liberty, who's French, by the way. And sorry, I couldn't stop myself. And there is also a number of buildings in the cityscapes that are iconic places for New York City. Why did you choose particularly these pieces? Was there any specific meaning by using the Lady Liberty into your artwork, or just because it was representing New York?
Yeah, basically because it was representing New York, although I haven't actually been to New York yet. So from what I could see in movies or and TV, New York is a place. The first thing they show us is the Statue of Liberty, and that's how you know, okay, this city is New York. And then the buildings, the very tall buildings, and then the bridge. I've forgotten the name. There's a bridge right there. So that's the elements, the symbols I use in my art was just the reflection of how I've always been told New York is, or how I've always seen how New York is. I haven't actually been there yet. Maybe someday when I'll be there, creating a New York piece will definitely be something else when I have a physical one-on-one or IRL experience.
Interesting. It's really, we all have these images in relation to specific places because we've seen movies or we read books and we watch documentaries, and there is this specific iconic architectural buildings or sculptures that really are for us, as you said. Sorry, I just lost my English right now, but which are specific to some places. And so interesting. And you have a lot of different works when we look at your collections, with people, with the dolphins, of course, different animals. What do you think is your most personal artwork?
My most personal artwork will definitely be my dolphins. It's what I started with in the NFT journey. It's what I want to be known for. Yeah, you said you went through. If you go through my profile in the different marketplace, you also notice my profile on those marketplace is still my dolphins. So yeah, I want people to know me as the Mad Dove, irrespective of where I meet or what I meet.
Well, sounds good to us. Dolphinities. Before passing it back to one of the co-hosts, I was wondering if you could share with us what is your next dream for your artwork, even though it's a dolphin. Would it be an exhibition, or you talk about the collection with Savage, the red dolphin, but is there anything else you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I would probably like to have an exhibition, as you made mention. It won't be IRL right now because getting the location will be quite difficult for me. So if I would do an exhibition, it will be definitely an online exhibition for my dolphins. So I'll look into it and maybe give you the updates or information when it's ready.
Yes, we want to know. We want to know when it's ready. Dolph, it was really so nice to meet you and to chat with you. It was a great interview, and we are so glad you were able to join us today for this conversation. And well, we'll talk later, probably. Thank you.
You're welcome for today.
So, Dolph, I'm sure you're expecting this, but here it comes. If you could go back with all the knowledge that you currently have today, and give yourself one piece of advice when you were first starting out in this space, what would that piece of advice be?
Ooh, this is this is really a good question. That piece of advice will be self-branding. Yeah, branding yourself in a very, very good way, in a very well, it will be self-branding basically because branding yourself comes with a lot of respect, a lot of trust. Yeah, when people see your work, they know, okay, this belongs to Mad Dove, this belongs to Logshot. So it's basically, if I could give myself advice now or from when I started, you will brand yourself in a very good way that will make people to know your art from just seeing it once. And yeah, that's it. It will basically be branding yourself in a very exceptional way.
Well, I think that's a absolutely wonderful piece of advice because it all comes back to your personal branding and what you're trying to portray through your work and through your profile picture and through your tone of voice and your posts and every little detail and aspect that goes into that. Dolph, this has been fantastic, man. And if you want to do collaborations with PPN in specific, hop in the Discord and drop something in the Pixel Byte submissions channel. That way others can go and buy that pixel byte and then collaborate with your work. But you did give me a good idea. Maybe we could figure out some way to incorporate artist drops within the community to bring more exposure to them. We could workshop that and see what we could figure out because I think that is a wonderful idea. With the Savage Nation token, that adds a unique piece of utility to Savage and the community that he is fostering. So absolutely incredible that you're doing that with one of your drops. Super, super happy to hear that. Both of my friends, happy to hear that's going on and for the collector side of it as well. But yeah, I want to say thank you for taking the time today to come out and talk to us. It's truly been a pleasure getting to know you more, getting to know about the process and about the person behind the work, right? Because that's Gray likes to say it's not the art, it's the artist that's the utility. So yeah, man, appreciate your time. I know it's incredibly late for you, so we're not going to hold you for too much longer. But thank you everybody for coming out here and listening today. If you're just now tuning in, I highly suggest you go back and listen, even if it's just on the recording, because this was definitely a good one. Lots of little alpha nuggets in there that you could take away and utilize in your own capacity for what you're trying to do in this space. little personal shout out to Claire for coming in here and helping out, getting this interview secured last minute, and also helping out in the community massively through personal interactions and things like that. Mad, you probably approached the subject of working with Claire 5 to 10 times throughout the space. So truly a pleasure to have worked with her as well. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for coming out here today. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow with a news space, news, art, and Web3 updates. And then Saturday, we're going to be hosting a social hour that will be hosted by PJW down there. And the listeners, come out for that if you can make it, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a little bit different of a time slot than now. And then, we'll just be doing what we're doing normally. The newsletter comes out on the 20th, and keep an eye out. It should be a juicy one. But once again, go enjoy your Tuesdays or Wednesdays, wherever you are in the world.
In a world of colors, where your dreams take flight, unlock your visions in pixels of light. Find your inspiration at Pixel Pollination. Craft your masterpiece with digital creation. Every pixel tells a story, every shade ignites. Find your inspiration in the art of bites. Find your inspiration at Pixel Pollination, where your art meets soul in perfect combination.